Hello and welcome to another VerbLink class. Tonight's class is about education. We're going to have a conversation about the importance of education. We'll get started shortly when students arrive in the class.
Hi, Shimon. How are you?
Good, Shan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
You ready for the weekend?
Yeah.
Good. Shan,
Yep.
I want you to open up that link. We're going to be watching a video at the beginning of class today.
Okay.
And it's about education.
Okay, that's great. So how much space do you have in your Dropbox?
About 10 gigs.
10 gigs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
All right, see, in about a minute we'll start it, even if anybody else hasn't arrived. All right, do you have the link up and running?
Yeah, I haven't started yet, but I can see the video.
Let's go ahead and start. We're not going to, you're on time. I won't wait for other people. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and watch that.
Okay.
The national debate over education quality, integration, and funding is playing out in two states.
All right, so Shan, you should have finished watching the video now.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Okay. The rest of you joined a little later. Have you finished watching the video yet?
Yeah, it's done.
Nope. Okay, so the rest of you keep watching the video and let me know by typing when you're done. All right, so Shan, what I'm going to do here is I think we can set up a bit of role playing here. We see some key people. We see a news presenter here who's interviewing some people, perhaps a parent, a student, and another parent. And as the mayor as well, I think would be a good idea. But before we do that, I want to give each student a chance to summarize what the video is about. So I'm going to give each of you 2 minutes, and I want you to tell me what the video is about. What are the consequences? What are the concerns? So Shan, I'll start with you. What was the video about?
This video is about the funding involved in the kindergarten classes, and one of the students' family has sued to the one state, Washington State, about underfunding these kindergarten classes, and court has accepted that, and they just ask the Washington State to give a proper explanations, and they said that they already invested 45 million in yearly, and whereas their annual budget is 38 billion, so they could not invest more onto this. And in further investigation, they came to know that they are more investing in transportation, operating and operating supply in other fields, not in the schools. And this kind of problem has some other state also, but how they are managing, like they are managing with the local taxes. But the problem with a few school district has a poor income tax, local income tax, so they could not just subsidized that part. So one idea is came out like those school district have rich school district, they can just transfer few amount of money to the poor school district so that it can be utilized.
Wow, Shan, you listen very well. You've got great listening skills.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So definitely some concerns here. I mean, but let's face it, guys. Education isn't that important, is it? Like, it's just a bunch of kids going to school, and no, who wants to do that, right? Well, it's probably not the case. All right, who else has had a chance to finish watching the video? Well, nevertheless, stop watching the video, guys, because we now need to get into the conversation part of the class. Who can go next?
Me.
All right, Amp. What did you get out of this video?
Well, yes, there is a problems with the fundings of they are spending
Hello, Amp? We've lost audio.
in a few years. Even when the fine is a small quantity in relation to the billions of dollars that they have, it's a how do you say? It's a start for press to push the people to invest the money that they are assigned for the education.
Okay. Do we really care about education? I mean, it's just grade school, right? Like, what's the big deal? Why should parents care?
Parents care about the level of the education and how the money that the school have receiving for that, because they pay for the taxes, and it's supposed to be in that money for a good education for their children.
Okay. All right. And aren't there better things to spend money on, like roads or salaries, other government officials and stuff? Do we really need to worry about education, you think? I mean, it's not like it's university education, right? Ha,
The,
no answer.
well,
I'm getting you guys ready for the conversation we're going to have soon, okay? So that's why I'm giving you some tough questions. Edson. Edson.
Yep, yep.
Um, so you've watched the video. What I'd like you to tell me is what is the importance of education? Like, why is it important to have a publicly funded education system?
Because you don't you study for free. You let's see, you study for free. With the money you're supposed to spend with education, you'd spend in other duties like transportation or roads, um, agriculture, or I don't know, many other duties. Except education the government has, you know, and because of course it's difficult to control the situation, but government should give free education for everybody.
Why?
And
Why?
because not everybody can spend money, can afford their education. And they
Okay, but that's great. Not everybody can afford it, but why do we care? So what? Why should we provide
uh,
education free? What is the benefit to society of an education?
the benefits is that with education, high degree, you get a good job and you contribute to the development of the country. You
Yeah,
know, because if you don't have degree, you're gonna work, but the like the job, not the job, but I think it's not gonna be a good contribution to your country when you don't have a high degree, because you are not probably not gonna have a good high position in your job. I don't know, maybe.
okay, very good. Thank you, Edson. Very good. Francisco,
Right, sure.
hi. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Edson. Um, why do we really care about funding education? Shouldn't everybody just who can afford it pay for it? Why? Because education is expensive. Why should we have to keep providing funding for education? States can't afford it. Um, if we stopped offering free education, why would it matter? I don't think you need education to be able to work in retail or a lot of local businesses. Just basic math and reading is sufficient, don't you think?
Yes. Well, according to the video, well, education is very important to for a country. Uh, in this case, uh, they don't have enough money. They are underfunding. Sorry. Uh, the state, well, I think the state has been fined or has been charged because they don't provide enough money for education from uh, starting from kindergarten to 12th grade. So they don't have enough money to pay to teachers too. So this is very important to continue to continue education, because education is going to be is going to make a stronger country. So I think the state here is failing because they are not providing enough money to do this.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, now Turkey, you just joined the room.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, we just finished watching a video.
Okay.
I'm not going to play it again because
Okay, of
there's
course.
not time
Okay.
for that.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get into a bit of a discussion now. We're going to have some role playing. And so let's see, we've got 6 of us if we include me. So first of all, we're going to have Amp, Edson, and Francisco. And let's see, I've got a news presenter, an education minister, and parent. Okay, so let me... Amp, what role do you want to play?
Parent.
Okay. Edson, what role do you want to play?
News presenter.
Okay. And Francisco, which role do you want to play?
The only one or left, education minister.
There you go. Okay, so these are the roles for this round. Okay. Now, it's 20 after, so I'm going to give you guys, let's say, I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to give you, I'm going to try for 6 minutes. And then I'll give the other 3 6 minutes. And what I want you to do is I want you to role play. So you're a news presenter. You have to think like one. You have to ask tough questions. You have to try to provoke a response. The education minister, obviously you're concerned about education. You're concerned about the budget. Actually, you know what? I don't want you to be the education minister. I want you to be the mayor. Okay? So you control the entire budget. Right? So you're trying to keep everything going. You know there's not enough money, and you're trying to do your best. And of course, a parent, I don't care. We have rights. Education's important. Get it done, right? So your time starts now, guys. The news presenter should kick this off because you're the one responsible for facilitating the discussion. Go ahead, please.
Let's hear from the minister. Tell me, if education is important, why you should provide free education for everybody? I don't know.
Well, providing free education is a right founded in the Constitution. So everybody deserves to have a better education. Basically, well, first the basic education. We're talking about kindergarten to 12th grade. So that's the reason. That's the reason that everybody has to have that right to receive education.
Let's hear from AMP. AMP, what do you think? University cost is very expensive. Would
Yes.
be able to afford your children for all the like for 4 years or 5 years of education, having account like high school and college and higher degree?
No, it's pretty difficult to afford a private institution, but the education in the schools that are from the state, it isn't good enough. Our children are going to be unable to get a spot at the university, and the only solution that we are going to have is probably to pay for an education in a private institution, and well, we are not in condition to do it. That is
But if
why
it's
we are complaining.
but if it's the government cannot provide free education, what would you do for your children if you, for example, you have not enough money to afford them? What would you do? for education.
We have been paying taxes of the whole life, and it's one of the rights of us is to get a good education from the state and with a low price, and it's one of our rights. So that is what we are demanding.
Back to the minister. Why instead of afford money for education, why not um, provide money for roads, for I don't know, for transportation, for any other duties apart from less from except from for education?
Well, we are providing most of the money that the government has given us to education, but we see that um, we are not providing well enough benefits to all the students. Only we are the Constitution says that you need to receive only education from kindergarten to 12th grade. But if you want a career, you have to pay for it. Or if you have a higher degree, well, you have to pay for it. So well, right now we are not providing enough money to complete all the degrees in a career. So that's the main reason that
Well,
people have to pay.
why not public education for everybody? Because it's really expensive to afford money for education and for everybody. And instead of spending money for that, you could spend money in other issues.
Yes, yes.
Education is not important. You don't think it is important?
Yes,
You care for education.
education is very important because if we don't have education, we can have a stronger society, a stronger country. Uh, but unfortunately, in this moment, we are overfunding. We are underfunding. We don't have enough money to provide to all the roots of the education. So only we are providing the basically the money for some routes of education, not all.
Let's hear from AMP. AMP.
To let people in the ignorance, it's not a benefit for your country. That is the way that the politicians try to manipulate the people, just giving
But
them in the ignorance.
you think that politicians manipulate people?
Of course, don't you think that?
No, I don't think that it happens. They just because
You
education,
say that
public edu
now because you are in front of the in front of the
Thank you,
minister.
guys. Time is up. Come on, I gave you 6 minutes. Stop when you hear the chimes. All right. So next round, we're going to have these three students. Well, the teacher, I will be the news presenter. Shan is going to be the mayor, because I know Shan did a great job of listening, and I want you to be a really good mayor, and you've got to defend your position as much as you can.
Oh God.
And Turkey, you're going to be a concerned parent. You realize that education is a chance for your children to have a better life. It's essential. Okay, so I'll start off because I'm the news presenter. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here at 6 o'clock tonight on the National News. We have our panel before us. We have the mayor of the county, and we also have a concerned parent who brought this case before us. Turkey, why is this such an important issue to you?
Okay, education, I think it's most important thing in the world, and not just to find a new job and increase your opportunity to find a good job and increase your salary. It's related to how we are human, and I think without education, we can't find the right medicine for many patient people, or they suffered from certain diseases. And
But let me
yes,
ask you this: your children they're able to go to school, correct?
yes, they are able to go to the school, but I think the education system must be improved because you see a lot of things in school, and that's not the student not get good education because we are at home. We see our children how they react and how they
Okay.
their behavior. I think before
Thank you.
the school.
Let's hear
Okay.
from the mayor. I want to hear from the mayor. You're hearing the concern. You're hearing comments from concerned parents. Why aren't you funding education?
Let me clear you first. I'm not against education. I know
You're not
it's.
against it, but you're cutting funding.
Let me clarify on that. I'm only cutting my funds on the kindergarten classes. But what about the other high school educations, all those? It's going on. It's perfectly going on okay. So,
Well, the courts have ruled against you and said they fined you several times, and yet they found you in breach of your contract to provide education. Yes, they're preschoolers, but this is the foundation of our society. We must start while they're young. Am I wrong?
no, you are absolutely correct, and I'm not denying you. But at the same time, you have to understand the funding we have. We have only 38 billion budget in annually, whereas for the only kindergarten classes, we are spending 45 millions. So what we are suggesting at just for the teacher compensations, we are spending so much of money. We are just asking to compromise 1 hour classes in every school. I know that it's a temporary problem, and we are just valuing the court judgment, and we'll also look out the other sector where we can cut out this money.
All right, thank you. Let me switch back over to Turkey, a concerned parent with us here on NF News. Turkey, you've heard the mayor there. What would you say to the mayor in response?
Okay, I think they want to do more better than that because if you see the school, many children can't find the right school and close school to their homes, and I think all the school are crowded, a lot of students there and a few teacher, and that's caused many things. And yes, I agree in some cases because of budget and something like that, and there are a lot of solution. We can brainstorm our minds and find any solution. I think that's their responsibility to care about the children, because without good education, we don't have good future for our children and our grand children. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor, how do you respond?
Um, we're planning to borrow some money from the local taxes, and I know that it's for every school district local taxes we can't collect equal amount of local taxes.
So it's a funding issue.
It's a funding issues, and
Mr. Mayor, I understood that you guys, City Council and yourself, voted yourselves a pay raise recently. You didn't seem to have any problem allocating money for yourselves.
not exactly. As a mayor, I have to just check all the part of our economical structure. So at the basis, at that time it was required. So that time I took that decisions. And when it comes to our in front of us, then we are just analyzing this part, and next year we'll definitely come out with better budget.
So what I'm hearing then is that you don't plan your budget ahead of time. You just kind of wait for things to come up and you vote, see if you've got money. If you do, you pass it. So there's really no budget planning involved?
Not exactly at all.
Well, you're telling me that there was money for your pay raise, so obviously that's important, but education, which wasn't important, somehow you just didn't have enough money for that.
We thought this budget will be somehow okay with the kindergarten educations, and when these things come out and we are not, in few districts we are not getting enough subsidized money, so that's why this problem came up.
Thank you very much. All right, so you saw three actors there. You saw me acting as a investigative reporter, leading a panel discussion between a parent and a mayor. You did a great job, Shan, as the mayor. That's why I got tougher with you. Because
it was tough for me.
Well, you did well, and so I wanted to keep the pressure on because you were very good at that. And Turkey, you didn't see the video, but good job. Now, here's what I want to do. We've had another student join us, David. So we've got 6 students in the class. What I would like to do now is I want to drop the time down to 4 minutes each, but I will be the presenter in each case, and one of you will be the mayor, the other will be a concerned citizen who is very unhappy with the cutbacks in education, not just at kindergarten, but all levels. The funding of education is terrible. The workforce, from what we're seeing in America, is not nearly being as well funded as it was decades ago. And this is being reflected in the people that are educating without the proper skills. And we know that education is very, very important to getting good jobs. Not only that, university education is very expensive. Okay? So, let's see. I'm going to start with Amp and Edson. Then I'll go to David and Francisco. And then, of course, it'll be Shan and Turkey again. The reason I'm skipping David is because, David, I want to give you a chance to familiarize yourself with the discussion that's been going on, and maybe, I don't know if you have a chance to watch a bit of the video, but living in the US, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with education as an issue and funding. So, oh, we lost a person. Isn't that just rats? I hate it when that happens. All right, Amp and Edson, are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, thank you for joining NFC News. Tonight we have with us a concerned citizen and the mayor. We had a recent news story about education funding being cut. A concerned parent took this to the court system. She won the case. The town has been fined, and the town has done nothing yet except for racked up more fines because they continue to be in violation. So I'd like to start off with David, who is the concerned parent in this case. David, why did you bring this case? Why is education so important to you?
Edson.
Sorry, Edson. Edson, why is it so important to you?
Education is important because, you know, without education, high degree, you don't get a good job. I mean, you need to study hard to get a good position and to prepare yourself for a career, and because, you know, nowadays it's becoming worse and worse to get a good job.
All right, thank you very much. Amp, you lost the case. You're not doing anything about it. Parents care. What's your response?
Well, the state is just supporting in the education, but unfortunately, you know, the situation is in our country, it's not the best this year, and the budget have been cut. So we have to apply some of the new changes in order to cover these.
So Amp, you're saying that the situation is tough, the economy isn't doing so well, people are having trouble finding jobs, so let's go ahead and cut the one thing that helps people improve their lives, and let's cut that.
Don't be.
We're having audio problems again, Amp.
Save a little. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can now. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we are just reducing the money in the kindergarten education. Is not so so drastic, the measurement that we are taking. So don't be exaggerate.
Well, then, let me ask you this. I've got, see, you guys voted for a pay raise earlier this year. What pay raise did you give yourselves on City Council?
Well, you know, I am an employee like you are, and most of the people are. So that is the percentage that everyone deserve for a
Thank you.
job.
Yeah, agree. Everybody deserves a fair share, and who cares about the
Yeah.
kids, right? So, Edson, how do you
I
feel
don't know.
about
It's
that?
not the
They
point.
voted a pay raise, and yet they won't support the children.
It's a big problem for our country, you know, because rising the you mentioned also the taxes. The situation, like we need to work hard to make money and make a lot of money because education is expensive. And if you don't work very hard, you're not gonna get a very good career, a good job, and you are gonna just stay in your position like you are not uh, very good professional, you know.
All right, thank you very much. And guys, we got 5 seconds left, so I'll stop it there. Well done. Okay, so I see we have David, Francisco, and Shan. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me being the presenter, I'm going to let all you guys team up together. Who would like to be the presenter, the news presenter? Excellent. Shan, I'll let you be the TV news presenter.
That's a tough task.
Yep. David, you're going to be the very concerned parent. And Francisco, good luck, because David's going to be on your case. You get to be the mayor. And you better be thinking about that one question you're going to ask about, well, you guys all got a pay raise, but who cares about the kids, right? So be careful with that. That's always that's a tough thing in politics, and that's always a concern is you'll give yourself a pay raise. Well, not just yourself. It's all the staff that works for the town, right? So, and it's true, they need pay raises to help catch up with the cost of living. But if you're ever going to do something drastic, such as cut funding to education, you better be prepared to answer questions such as that. All right? So, gentlemen, I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes as well. Jan, you're the news presenter, right?
Yep.
I'm going to let you start because you're going to be facilitating the conversation for NFC News. Go ahead.
Okay, so today we have a news about the funding cut on the kindergarten classes. It's happened on the Washington states, and we got a court verdict today. So we have with the mayor of the Washington states and one concerned parent with us. So let's start the conversations. Let's start the discussions. How things going? So first of all, I would like to say something about I would like to give a chance to the concerned parent how they are concerned about it.
Well, it's obvious that I'm concerned, and I am not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for millions of parents all over the world, not only in the United States, but all over the world, that for some reason people think that cutting on education is like the quick solution for everything, and in fact it's not. So I want to know, first of all, is the reason behind it. Number two is people tend to look at education like they need to look at education like as an investment, but it's a long-term investment. You see the fruits of this work in maybe in a decade or so. You cannot see the result in just in 1 year or overnight. So it's a investment that is going to be long-term. And you know that we need the best education to be a better community, to have a better economy, but it's all involved with education. Everybody have to learn from a teacher. And if that teacher is not going to be well paid, and if that teacher won't have enough materials, then my education is going to be very, very insipid and very poor, and it's like a vicious cycle. So you need to stop cutting on education or health
Yeah,
education.
we got your idea, and we'd like to hear from the mayor. What will be your response?
Well, everybody thinks that we're cutting funding from the government to schools, but there are some things that we are not concerned or involved. We have more students each year, so sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to provide enough money to all the states um, to all the situations that we are.
Why is difficult?
Well, it's difficult. Well, because the country is growing, and we have a lot of citizens, so basically, the government is obliged to provide education only for the basic education. We're talking about from kindergarten to 12th grade, not for high degrees like universities or master's degree or other ones.
Mr. Mayor, so don't
yeah.
you think the primary education is as important as the high school education?
Yes, it's very important. So we are providing, I think we are providing enough money to cover all of these levels. Unfortunately, we're not covering the high degrees, but maybe in the future we can cover this.
Future? What future? What are you talking about?
Well, maybe in a few, well, maybe 1 or 2 years more, and the government is going to provide
Maybes.
more
Why
money.
always maybes? Wasn't that something for sure?
Well,
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a good answer for us.
All right, guys. I'm going to step it up a little bit now. We've got about 50. We got 10 minutes left. Unfortunately, 10 minutes because I've got another class after this, and if you love this class, you're going to love the next one too. And I promise you, at the end of next class, if there's at least 4 of you that want to stay on for the next hour, I'll launch another class and we'll continue with a discussion of your choice. Okay? So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have one person being the news presenter. Everybody else will be calling in. You'll be calling in, identifying yourself like a phone-in radio show, okay? So who wants to be the radio broadcaster? Excellent. Ant, thank you for volunteering.
Why me?
Well, nobody volunteered, so I voluntold you.
Yeah, David was about to open his microphone.
Well, good. So he could be the first one calling you in. So, Amp, what I want you to do is to facilitate, and you get to ask each caller one question. Well, you can ask them what they do, right? But then you ask them one question, what they want to say, and or you can ask them a really, really tough question. So give each person a chance. We've got about 9 minutes left, so Amp, you will facilitate. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we have here a teacher that also is a parent, and he wants to express his opinion to the mayor. Go ahead, Mr. David.
Mayor, you suck. Big time.
Please.
After saying that, no, it's an opinion. It's a public opinion. So after saying that, I would say that he is full of maybes. There's nothing concrete in his plan. He doesn't have a plan. That's the bottom line. He's just maybe this, maybe that. Yes, we care. Yes, we do the best. But what is the best? How show that you care? Have a plan.
What do you demand from him?
First of all, to have a plan. Whatever it is, have a plan. Be direct. Be honest. And I think and find solutions. The maybes is not a solutions. And people,
but you know that is usually in politicians, so.
That's what I'm saying to him, that he suck, big time. Number one, because his plan sucks. His idea sucks. He's only full of maybes. Next person.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we have another parent that is concerned because he have like 5 children and he doesn't know how to how to manage his budget. What do you want to say to the mayor, Mr. Exxon?
As you know, 5 children is not easy to deal with, to take care of. And you think the government should provide free education for my children instead of spending money in roads, in agriculture, in any
Yeah,
other
but the roads are
issues.
necessary. Roads are necessary, and
But it's more necessary to provide free education for my children because without education we're not gonna improve our country, and our
yes,
country is
but
not doing very well.
without roads, your children cannot go to school because it's so far from your house. So
I know, but we already have our roads, and by the way, they are very good, and the traffic is very good, and we have to afford money for my children. And they need to go to school, to college, to study because they are otherwise they're going to be like an employee, or you're not going to get a very good job, a career.
yes, I understand. Thanks for your
Yeah.
opinion.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Francisco, could you tell me what do you want to from the mayor? What actions do you demand from him?
Okay, am I a concerned parent or?
I don't know. Are you concerned?
Okay. Okay,
He's
let me.
wealthy.
You tell us. You don't
Yes,
sound very
I am
concerned.
asking.
Okay, well, we're concerned because, well, in the last years, we have seen, well, a lot of deficiencies, like in insufficient textbooks, computers, and other learning tools. So our children are not getting an adequate learning. So I think if this continues, we're going to fail as society. So what is the government doing to fix this?
Yes, well, as the mayor said, that the problem is that the budget from the state have been cut. So he said that is why. But you believe in what he's saying? That depends on the national budget, Francisco?
Sorry. Well, I'm concerned because, well, I think that the government is obliged to provide enough education to all citizens, not only from kindergarten, but to a major education, maybe to have a master's degree, or it has to be cheaper because we don't have enough money to pay a highly cost at universities. Uh, so I think the government must pay attention to this situation.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Well, we have a Shan that he was a former employee from the mayor. And what is your position?
I was thinking myself as a concerned parent.
Well, you're not very concerned
No.
if you're not funding education, are you?
Finally. Well, uh, as an employee of the mayor, I can say that we are taking it as a high priority, and whatever, it's a collective decisions. I cannot just say you right now, but we are taking it very seriously.
Yeah, but you were working with him, and now you are an employee. Do you think that the mayor is good enough to be in charge of the?
Definitely, definitely. If you look at the other sector, how he is managing and what are the improvement he has bring to the states, he's definitely capable of that. But this budget has been finalized 5 years before, So we cannot just blame to the only this mayor, but definitely if you argue that this mayor should be revisited the budget about the primary educations, yeah, he should work on that.
All right, guys, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
So again, what are we doing here? Why am I having these classes? Well, you're all advanced students, and my classes are aimed at advanced students. And you know as well as I do, you guys want to practice more time speaking. That's why my classes are structured this way. So what do people like to speak about? Well, we like small talk, but really, to get us excited, we want to speak about things that are interesting to us. That's why people like call-in radio shows, because it's interesting. So I bring topics that are interesting. So why the role playing? Well, last week or the week before, a student recommended that we try to do some role playing, and I thought, well, why don't I do it within this class? And from what I've seen so far, you guys really seem to like that. And I think it's great too. I've also added a video so that way we have some more context around the story. In the next class, coming up in 6 minutes, we're going to be talking about prisons in the United States, prison sentences, prison companies, governments, funding. Are we more concerned with creating a prison industry to generate money, or are we really concerned about society? And you see, that's the type of conversation we're going to have. I have a really, really interesting video, and so please show up right away. Now, at about 3 or 4 minutes after, even if not everybody's there, we're going to start with the video, so that way we can get in, give you guys a chance to provide your thoughts on the video, so that way I know what you learned, and then we'll get right into some role playing. And we'll do the 2 types of role playing. We'll do the broadcaster panel or call-in radio show. All right? And like I said, I made you guys a promise. If at the end of that class, at least 4 of you want another class, I will actually open up another class and we'll continue. And we can either pick the same topic or something else, and we can go directly into the role playing without having to watch another video. So let me know what you think, guys. I've got to go because I've got to refresh my liquids, do some stretches, and get ready for the next class. So I hope I'll see you all in 5 minutes.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
See you.